Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all well. Glad you could join me. Welcome, especially to the new visitors to the channel. I just had a thought, actually. Since I changed the name of the channel to the Permaculture Shoestring Home and Garden, which is a big mouthful, it isn't immediately obvious what my name is. I know that it's less important than what I'm doing. But to those who are new to the channel and don't know me, I'm Cindy. You can catch up on why I'm showing you my front door in previous videos, because I have mentioned before that I wanted to put a curtain up above the door and across it to help with keeping the house a bit warmer in the winter. I still haven't got down to doing that because we've had a crazy 2 weeks, and it doesn't look like it's going to let up for some time yet, but I have done some work, and to those of you who've been through my hallway in the last couple of videos, there's something missing. The big shelves and the corkboard that was there. I've been tidying up and doing some more sorting out and organizing. So I am on the track to getting to that curtain as I'm tidying up and getting things organized and finally starting to put things in order in the house. In the kitchen, the laundry basket is empty, finally. And I have, as you can see, been doing some rearranging because I finally caved in and got a toaster. Simply because after using the grill for a number of months to make toast in the oven, which is far more expensive, I'm sure, than using a toaster, the grill element is finally packed up. We will fix that at some point. We'll get a replacement and put it in ourselves. But we don't often, during the day we don't cook and prepare meals during the day. That's an evening meal that we make. And sometimes I'm just so busy and so rushed that to prepare anything, even sandwiches during the day, is quite, it distracts me from doing what is most urgent at the minute. So just being able to get a bit of toast if somebody's really hungry makes a big difference. I resisted getting a toaster because this kitchen is tiny. And there was no space for a toaster anyway, and I hate having anything on the worktops, but needs must. I haven't got any other space. We have already put shelves above doors to make space. Even in that entrance at the back, there are shelves there. But there's still not enough room in this absolutely tiny kitchen. We even found, we were skip diving for that MDF sheet over there that we put up as a shelf with a pole to hold it firm and stop it sagging in the middle, so that we could put the fridge above the tumble dryer. There just wasn't any space, and the fridge, the tall freezer, is in the cupboard under the stairs behind that door. So that is how we've been trying to make space. I didn't want to replace the microwave, but we eventually needed one so that the whittler could sterilize some of his wood that he uses, the small pieces of wood, for some whittling. If we're not sure of where the wood comes from or if there's anything in it, we microwave it just to make sure there's nothing in there that could transfer anyway. No little bugs or diseases. So I had to make space. There's the toaster, obviously, and the kettle had to come out, and a whole lot of rearranging. And of course, as you know, you start something and it all just starts to fall like dominoes. You do one thing and see another that needs doing, and while you're at it, you kind of get stuck into a whole bunch of things. So a whole lot of things have been cleared out, tidied up, moved. So the toaster's gone there, and I've bought a tray instead, a bamboo tray for the wooden spoons and things, rather than the flower pots I was using in the corner. And it's a bit tidier, I think, actually. And then I just thought, right, I'm done with it. More needs doing. And finally I took down the net, the cafe net that was hanging up there above the extractor, and just got stuck into clearing out. because I did that, because I took that net down, the windows were absolutely filthy. They were so dusty from when we were cutting wood and stuff, making the pergola earlier in the year. And it was so full of dust, I could actually sweep some of it off with a dustpan's brush. And then I thought, right, now I'll clean the window. I haven't cleaned windows for a long time. That's a luxury of time. And I did, and you can see right the way through the windows now. And actually I'm concerned that the houses at the back that are higher up on the slope can see right in my kitchen. There's no privacy now, but I will sort something. As I've said before, I'm going to build some kind of shelving system to go in there so that I have more space and the plants can go higher up at that level over there, and so I can use another shelf there for other things, and on the bottom for sprouting some microgreens. So the plants will become my privacy, but at the moment I'm so enjoying the extra light that is coming into this space, and it feels really good. I can see right out into the garden now, and I love to look into the garden and watch the birds and all that they're doing in the garden. I can keep an eye on the weather, especially with the washing out on the line. I was out at 7 o'clock this morning putting washing on the line because I knew what sort of day I was going to have, and it was still dark, so we know we're heading into winter now because it was pitch black at 7 o'clock in the morning, whereas in midsummer it's bright and daylight is on full ball at 4 o'clock in the morning in the summer. But in the winter at 7 o'clock in the morning it's pitch black, and it was dark this morning, so hanging out washing in the dark was quite an experience. But I did it because I needed to get stuff done. I've had my shower, I'll be out in a minute, doing some errands, but I felt good. It felt good to have an absolutely tidy, clean window. I don't know why it's important, but for some reason having clean windows and windowsills and tidy, I don't know, it had such an effect on me, and I've always wanted to do that with all my windows. I started with the downstairs landing window, and then I moved up to the upstairs window. My bedroom window is all right. I would prefer not to have nets up, but for the sake of privacy, they're there. I don't like blinds. They're too much hassle to be putting up. Take more on manufacturing, and so I just stick with the nets for now. If I can find more chiffon type ones like the living room, I'll get some in the future. But for now, I love this spot where I could have nothing in the window, and it's clear and I can see the garden while I'm working. I enjoy that, and it gave me such a feeling. Just doing that bit of work in the kitchen gave me such a feeling of weight off my shoulders kind of thing. It's kind of relaxing. So I don't know, other people find all sorts of things relaxing. I find gardening, housework and other things relaxing too, but just being able to do that for once, because the state of the house has been a bugbear for me for a long time. This kind of thing is something that I have not had time for the longest time, and it just felt so good, and I'm now energized and in the momentum to keep going, and I will make sure that at least once a week there is some kind of job like this that I get done. There has to be, and eventually I'm sure that within a year I can get the whole house sorted if I keep going this way. So there you are. I know it doesn't make much sense, considering the things I'm trying to do, but it does to me, because it's all about putting my life, my home in order, in an order where I can make a haven for my family and anybody else who come to visit in this home. I want my family to feel relaxed, to feel welcomed, to feel de-stressed when they come in and leave this home. And I want my visitors to leave here feeling relaxed and calm and like they've been, had a time out. So if I'm going to do that, and if I'm trying to get closer to nature and closer to, how can I put it? I don't even know how to say it. Away from the hamster wheel that I'm running with the continual chaos and stress and crises and drama in my life, I want to get off that wheel. Unfortunately, it's not just me turning the wheel from the inside, but there are other things turning the wheel from the outside that won't allow me to just stop running. I have to jump off the wheel, which takes a lot more effort than just stopping the running. And so for the outside forces that are affecting the wheel and making me spin faster, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and put my foot down, take a leap and get out of this wheel. And this is one way that I'm doing it. Taking the time out, even with a huge amount of things that I still have to do, all important things, but putting my foot down and saying, no, this specific time is what I'm doing this for. And yes, there will be, like the laundry, if you avoid it for a day, there will be 2 piles the next day instead of 1. So yes, I'm willing to face that and just get stuck in, just so that I can see progress and I can get off that hamster wheel. Seriously, if I don't, I'm going to go balmy. But at least now I can see the garden. And what's scaring me is that, look at this pergola, it's really leaning, the frame for the Jerusalem artichoke, because they're really heavy. And the flowers are beautiful. They're really like tiny little sunflowers. But that's going to have to come down. And then I've got no privacy. So I'm going to have to figure something out of what I can do to strengthen and reinforce that frame and put something on it to give me more screening. Especially since that screen growing there provides a good windbreak for the back door and privacy from prying neighbours on that side. You see, you can't even see the neighbour's house, but here in this little gap, that part of the neighbour's house is still visible. So it won't be long, we'll do something, we'll get our privacy. That's one of the downsides of being at the bottom of a slope, is that everybody that's higher up from you can see in. Yeah. But there you go. As I'm going through all these little things, there's a great thing about clearing out and putting things in order, is that either you switch off and don't think about anything but the task at hand, or it's a task that gives you space for thinking and for contemplating and even to a degree meditating. So it is beneficial to step out for a bit and do something in that vein. Kind of physically clearing out gives you a chance for mental clearing out as well, and I find that very helpful. So try it. I don't know what other people do for the same goal end, but clearing out is so relieving. It's lifting a weight off your shoulders. Try it. It feels so good, especially when I clear out, go through the clothes and clear out unnecessary things and put it in a bag and take it over to the charity shop. It is literally offloading a weight off my mental shoulders. So yeah, and that goes for whether it's the garden or the house or cleaning out the car. I don't do it all the time. I mean, you can look around my house. There is plenty in my house that is not clean, that has not been done. Even that mirror, look at the finger, I don't know if you can see it in this light, but there are finger marks all over the mirror. Little things like that. That wall still hasn't been painted, whereas the rest is almost completely painted, needs more coating. So that wall, since last year, still hasn't been finished painted. So those are little things like that. There's lots that are not right. That shower room, look, it's a mess. So I'm not trying to say my house is spotless. I don't get it done all the time, and I don't live in a spotlessly clean house. That's sometimes a reflection of the chaos in my life. But as I'm going through things and clearing out and tidying some things, I mean, even with all the crafts, look at that, it's craziness. As I'm going through all these things a little at a time, a lot of clearing out has been done. Things are being put in order, not just in the house, not just in my mind, but in the family and further afield as well. And things are being done in order to make things smoother and life easier, even by small degrees. And I'm enjoying that. See, even that windowsill has evolved over time. It's changed a little bit, but I'm keeping that tidy. I cleaned up the upstairs landing and tidied that all up, and there's all the sweet potatoes up there and a snake plant. So I've got plants on the window there overwintering. The stairs, since we've moved in this house, I still haven't painted or tidied or anything. I gave up on carpets because the dog hair just gets everywhere. We've had carpets in all our other houses up the stairs, and I don't want it this time. I really don't. And I've pinned loads of beautiful pictures on Pinterest of ideas for tarting upstairs, and I will get to that eventually. But it's a mess for now, but still, I'm getting there. One windowsill, started with that one, and then that one was last, that one up there, and then that one yesterday. And I've done the bathroom windowsill as well, actually. So this windowsill's getting sorted. My windowsill was done a while back, but just needs dusting and tidying up. The living room windowsills and my son's bedroom windowsills all still need doing, but that's just tiny little steps, tiny little steps, but it feels good to get it done. So I hope that you get chance today. I've got to be off dashing again, off on my errands and my runs and chores and all sorts, but it seems that today will be another lovely day like yesterday. I've got washing on the line, and that says that I have faith that we're going to have a good day today. That washing will at least air dry to the point where I can air it properly dry in the tumble dryer tonight. So, make the most of the good weather, make the most of any time that you have, or you can make time and use it to whatever makes you feel better, refreshed and more energized to face anything you have to. So I'm going to love you and leave you now with that thought. Today is going to be a good day, better than yesterday, and I hope it is for you too. Bye bye everyone.